Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to present my empirical paper in this conference on CEO compensation and firm performance in the emerging market. I feed in from Indonesia selected listed banking firm. Overview. The study is to investigate empirically the effects CEO compensation on firm performance of banking companies listed in the Indonesian Stock Exchange. Some 23 banks are selected employing the purposive sampling method for the period 2009-2008 period. To keep the sufficiency of observation, full data is employed with the total number of observations accounting for 176 firm years data. Univariate and multivariate models are then utilized to analyze financial data. Estimation of regression coefficient employees ordinarily square. Result of studies show that CEO compensation affects significantly negative on bank performance using Tobinski, but not significant on return on asset. Introduction. CEO compensation has been studied extensively in the last 2 decades, particularly in the United States corporation. In contrast, a very few attempts have been made to study CEO compensation of Indonesian firms. Unlike in the United States, Indonesian firms have not been required to disclose information on compensation for any individual executive, and hence, compensation data on individual executive of Indonesian corporation have not been available for researchers. The lack of such individual compensation data has been forcing researchers to tap into an alternative aggregate data source. The relation between pay and performance is derived from agency theory. According to agency theory, compensation contracts should be designed to align the interests of managers or agents with those of shareholders or principals. Top executive with performance-related compensation can reduce the adverse execution problem. Research problem and object. While the literature on pay performance has been largely focused on the Anglo-Saxon economics, limited research has been carried out in the context of emerging markets. Some studies find a positive relationship between CEO compensation and firm performance. Cheng and Faber, 2008. Other studies conclude that CEO compensation has no impact on firm performance at all. Finally, there are even some studies that find a negative relationship between CEO compensation and performance. Halthausen later, after many studies of the empirical record on this topic is still made. So, this study is an attempt to fulfill the literature gap on academic debates that exist on the subject, mainly in emerging market economies such as Indonesia, in particular in the banking industry. The aim of this study is double. First, it provides empirical evidence on the relationship between the CEO compensation on firm performance in the banking industry. Second, it examines the sensitivity of pay performance within 2 different groups of banks, that is, banks with prospect and those without prospect. Theory model and framework. The impact of executive compensation on the performance. The agency theory has often been used by empirical researchers to explain CEO compensation in connection with firm performance. According to its doctrines, the problem of information asymmetry between owners and their agents always arises due to the separation between ownership and control. The purpose of a compensation contract is to reward executives in such a way that they strive to maximize firm performance. Empirical funding review. Jurma investigate the effect of Cadbury reform on the CEO pay for firms in the United Kingdom. The results suggest that the relationship between pay and performance remains weak for their sample of firms. Gregg also finds a weak link between CEO pay and firm performance. Oskan, Doukuliagos, and Wei find that there is no significant relationship between firm performance and CEO compensation. Beck concluded the executive payment positively relate to the past and parent firm financial performance. This is in line with the result obtained by Renata and Komera in India and now et al. Kubo and Saito estimated the sensitivity of Japanese President wealth to shareholder wealth in the period 1977-2000. Their results shows that the payment movement sensitivity actually decreased substantially after 1990 due to bureaucracy. Hypothesis. The Resek hypothesis. First, there should be a positive relationship between CO compensation and prior year bank performance. Second hypothesis, there should be a positive relationship between both sides and bank performance. Third, there should be a positive relationship between both independence and bank performance. Fourth, there should be a positive relationship between institutional ownership and bank performance. Fifth hypothesis, there should be a positive relationship between bank capital and performance. The last hypothesis, there should be a negative relationship between bank risk and CEO compensation. Risk design methodology. Source of data. The data consists of all bank companies listed in the Indonesian Stock Exchange over the 2009-2013 period consists of 40 banks. Annual data on CEO compensation can only be collected until 2008 due to limited data available. Sample criteria and sample size. First, bank financial annual report must be at least 5 years. Thus, the relationship of CEO compensation and bank performance was analyzed with different number of years. Second, information on CEO compensation was hand collected from the remuneration section of the bank's annual report. Total compensation is used for this research, consisting of total annual compensation for both commissary board and CEO of each company under study. Population sample. Until 2018, there are 40 banks listed in Indonesian Stock Exchange. Annual data on CEO compensation can only be hand collected until 2018 due to limited data available. Sampling technique utilizes non-probability sampling, that is purposive sampling technique. Based on the criteria previously mentioned, I obtained 23 banks that meet this criteria. After removing outliers, the final sample accounts for 23 banks or 176 firm year observation. Analysis. Method of analysis. The study employs the multiple regression to analyze data. All models are estimated by using pool ordinary least square. Furthermore, I augment model in panel A by including firm black performance (ROA) as one of the individual variables, as suggested by Beck and DeMarzo. In addition, I will split my sample into two groups: firm with growth opportunity and firm without opportunity, in order to examine if relationship CO compensation and performance is affected by growth opportunity of investment. Growth opportunity of investment is proxied by marketable ratio, MTBR. A firm is having growth opportunity if MTBR is more than 1 otherwise. I think the following dynamic model like this. This is the key finding, on effect of this compensation on firm performance. In panel A, CEO compensation does not affect significantly on profitability measured by a return on asset. Neither do firm risk or NPL and bank efficiency. Both size and both independent or both structure have positive impact and significant toward profitability. Surprisingly, in Model 1 Panel A, institutional investors influence negatively and significantly on firm profitability. The presence of institutional investors in effect deteriorate the firm performance measured by return on asset. The effect of independent variable in Model 1 is entirely able to affect firm performance with contribution rising to 16.7%. Panel A Model 2 shows that this recombination is found to have negative and significant effect on firm performance, measured by Tobinsky, or firm value. High CO compensation result in depressing effect on firm performance, due partly to market appreciate less with high compensation. There might be an indication that CO in banking firm Indonesia is overcompensated. Panel 1 Model 2 shows that CO compensation is found to have negative and significant effect on firm performance, measured by Tobinsky. High CO compensation result in depressing effect on firm performance due to what I have mentioned before. In short, ownership point out similar result to CO compensation in respect to firm value. Both size and both structure have only marginal effect on firm performance, measured by Tobinsky. In panel B model 1, profitability with time lag 1 was added, similar to result in panel A. CO compensation does not affect firm profitability, measured by return on asset. This result is in line with that of Oskan. However, CO compensation affects negatively and significantly on Tobinsky. One-time lag profitability is assumed to contribute to firm current performance. Unsurprisingly, last year profitability is impacting positively and significant on current profitability. Both size and both independence are found to have positive and significant effect on firm profitability as presented in Model 1. Conversely, institutional investor has negative and significant effect on firm profitability. Firm size, risk, measured by NPL, and bank efficiency do not have any significant effect on firm profitability. Now, I'm going to discuss about firm with and without prospect in the future. From Model 1, firm with good opportunity of investment in the future, CO compensation does not have significant effect on firm profitability. One-time lag profitability, both size and both independent are all positive and significant to return on asset. Both size is also playing an important role in impacting return on asset in this firm, while both independent prove to be effective in playing its role in the board. As balancing power, they are able to influence the strategic decision of the CEO of banking. Consistent to previous result, institutional investors affect negatively on return on asset, because firm size, NPL, non-performing loan, or bank efficiency do not have an impact on return on asset. Firm without growth, opportunity of investment. In panel B model 1, no coefficient do affect significantly on firm performance, measured by return on asset. 1 year time lag profitability, both size and both independent still have positive sign as theory predicted. Model 2 shows that CO compensation, if it still have negative sign, as the theory predicted, is not significant. Both size is only marginally significant, but independent, however, is not significant. Institutional investor is found to be positive and negative influence toward Tobinsky. Firm size impacted negatively and significantly firm performance as theory implies, but not significant. In addition to this, risk and bank efficiency does not affect on Tobinsky. Conclusion. The effect of CO compensation differ on firm performance among various economic models. CO compensation is only impacting negatively and significantly on firm performance measured by Tobinsky for banking firm with prospect, but no coefficient of CO compensation are significantly associated with return on asset. This result suggests that firms with weaker government structures have greater agency problem, that CEOs at firms with greater agency problem receive greater compensation, and that firm with greater agency problem perform worse. Firms with good prospect and those without prospect saw the different result. CO compensation, however, has a marginal effect on firm value but not significant on return on asset. Time lag one period profitability, ROA, both size and both composition are having positive sign as they were predicted, and significant on return on asset, while it is insignificant for firm without prospect. While institutional ownership affects negatively and significantly on ROA, firm size, risk, and bank efficiency are not found to affect significantly in firm with prospect. Meanwhile, for firm without prospect, both composition, institutional ownership, and bank efficiency affect positively and significantly on Tobinski. Firm size, however, is negatively and significantly associated with Tobinski. Other variables are not significant. Recommendation for future research. For future research, it is recommended that CEO compensation could be broken down, not merely using the total compensation, but at least splitting it into at least commissioner and director member compensation. The number of banks should be added for all banks listed in the Indonesian Stock Exchange if you study. Split bank sample into private and state bank. Analyze the impact of managerial commission in relation to bank risk using Z-score. And the role of competition among banks in order to gain the most specific picture of the compensation in relation to bank riskiness and financial performance in the banking industry. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I end my presentation. Thank you very much. Wish all wish you all the very happy new year 2021. See you in the next conference. Thank you very much.